everyone, my name's Laura and I'm the Specky Seamstress. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, we knew there was going to be a dip in videos at some point, right? Turns out summer with 2 under 2 was hard work. But it's all good. I thought I would pop back in here. I was starting to get myself a bit stressed out, like, oh, if I can't commit to posting regularly or filming regularly, like, maybe I shouldn't bother. But actually, I enjoy doing YouTube videos. I can do them whenever I fancy. So it might be a bit sporadic. I am hoping to film a little bit more regularly now. I am back at work for my day job, which bizarrely gives me a little bit more time. Not more time, but more routine. So maybe it might be a bit easier for me to fit some filming in. But I've actually been doing loads of sewing, absolutely piles of fabric buying, and quite a lot of pattern investigations and stuff as well. So I think there's probably quite a lot to share. The business is also super busy, loads going on, and probably going to film a little bit of a catch up about the business fairly soon, and also going to start doing a video version of the newsletter for the Specky Seamstress as well. So let me know if you think that's a good idea, because if all of you say it's not, maybe I'll rethink that plan. But I thought it might be quite fun to have like a too long didn't read, here are the things going on at the business video every so often as well. So I thought the best place for me to come back to today, I have notes, so you know that I've prepared, is to tell you my top 5 makes since I last checked in with you guys. I have actually been sewing loads, so I did a count up of things that I'd made while I was on maternity leave. So I was on maternity leave for 6 months, and I made like over 50 things, which is crazy. I mean, some of them were like knickers and a quick pair of shorts and stuff, but 50 things. Yeah, I probably need to get rid of some things from my wardrobe, to be honest, for a bit of turnaround. But it's been quite nice. I've really discovered, I think since returning to work, although I think I already kind of knew it before then, that there's quite a lot in my wardrobe now that just isn't quite my style, particularly length. I'm finding things a little bit short for me, and I'm finding a lot of my t-shirts a little bit like too, not tight, like they still fit me the way they used to fit me, but they're more tight fitting than I now want to wear. So I've got loads of sewing plans coming up as well, which will be a whole other video, because otherwise I could talk for like 3 hours and then you'd all get bored and never watch a video again. But the top 5 things that I made since I last checked in with you. So I last had a video out in the middle of May, so that was kind of like halfway through my maternity leave. So I've got loads that I've sewn, and I actually found it really hard to whittle down to 5 top makes, but I tried to think about my favourite things without going back and looking. Because I figured that that was the best way to remind myself what was really good. My English teacher would be so sad with that sentence. Anyway, number 1, I made myself a pair of lime green trousers, and they are phenomenal. Now, these were kind of intended to be a bit of a toile. I had talked previously about wanting to make some wide leg trousers. I'm not sure if this is the pattern of like repeatable choice, although I have now made 2 pairs. These are the Birgitta Helmersson zero waist block pant. There is a fly hack for them, so the initial pattern is just a very wide leg elasticated all round trouser. It's all made from rectangles. You can make a full length pair of trousers for my size in 2 meters of fabric, which is pretty good. And actually I have worked out that you can make it from less than that if you're happy to like shimmy some things around a little bit, which I am. So I think I worked out that I could make a full length pair from 1.5 meters, or I could make a jumpsuit from 2 meters, including like a Cami vest top. So really versatile pattern. I'm very lucky that the crotch curve works really well for me. I have experimented with a zero waist trouser pattern before, and the crotch curve did not work for me, but this one really does. And I've just had to make a very minor tweak to the crotch curve to make it fit better. But I made myself this pair of lime green. It's called a cotton drill, but it's quite lightweight. It's not like really heavy drill type denim. It's more of a twill. I bought it as chartreuse from Dalston Mill Fabrics, and when it came it was much brighter than I thought and also much lighter weight than I thought. And I had planned to make a pair of Brooks trousers from Helen's Closet from it, but sort of went off of it, used a couple of bits of the fabric for like facings and stuff because I thought I'm not really sure I'm going to wear this. And then when I wanted to make these trousers and try, I thought, oh well, I'll go for lime green, and I love them. I wear them way more than I thought I would because they are lime green, but somehow lime green is a neutral. They're a little bit snug, but totally wearable. Particularly, it's like the jeans thing, isn't it, where the first time you wear them they're quite tight and then the next time you wear them they're like really comfy. It's a bit like that. So the first time out of the wash is a bit of a like sit around the house day and then they're really comfy after that. And yeah, I love them. They're just kind of amazing. They've got an elasticated back but a full fly front, and yeah, I've used this pattern a lot now, and I've used the crotch curve a lot for shorts and trousers, and there will be more in my life because they're great. So that's my number one. These are not necessarily like ranked, these are just numbered. Number two is a top that I made, which is a hack of the Sasha Starlight swing coat pattern. So this pattern came out and I fell in love with it. I don't think I would wear it as a coat, but I made the Sasha Starlight dungarees, tie-side dungarees, and I really loved the pattern and I loved the way that it was kind of drafted and constructed. So I thought I would buy the coat pattern and play around with it, because basically it's a raglan coat that is designed around the principle of circles. So it goes along with I'm really into zero waste patterns at the minute, and I'm a maths nerd who loves to do maths and sewing and knitting. My knitting involves a lot of maths too right now. So I'm obviously in a mathsy mood. And it's really cool. So what I did was hacked it into a top. Now the sleeves of this pattern are all of the drama. Like, they're really cool. They have this huge circle, but the weight of the sleeve sits behind your elbow. And the sleeve hole is actually a hole rather than just the ends of the seam. So you have to kind of bind it, and it just looks awesome. Like, it's so fun to be in. It's like you kind of want to make lots of arm gestures in it. It's quite dramatic. And I wasn't really sure what fabrics to use, but because it was raglan, I went for some contrast. I actually went for a plain white like t-shirt jersey, like interlock, that I had in my stash, and it wasn't white, it was like a cream. And then I used a remnant of African wax fabric for the sleeves because I thought they would like hold the drama really well. And it's an African wax that I've already made a dress from. I was unlikely to use the fabric for something else, but actually it's awesome. I can talk a little bit more in a video about how I adapted the pattern. It was fairly easy hack actually in the end, although it's quite a dramatic difference to what the original pattern was. And I have played around with this pattern a little bit more as well for something that hasn't quite worked out, because I thought it would be a really cool cami top, like just a little cute circular, very kind of tenty cami top. Unfortunately, I don't really like tenty cami tops, so I'm not really sure why I thought that would work for me. But yeah, it's really awesome, and I will definitely make the pattern again. And maybe one day I'll make myself the coat and just have a giant like 60s tent coat, but maybe not. I have written down the sizes here, and I meant to say that for the zero waist block pant. So the zero waist block pant goes up to a maximum of a 60-inch hip. The Sasha Starlight coat goes up to a maximum bust of 60-inch, but it is very oversized, so I would absolutely check the measurements, because there's only two sizes for this pattern, and I made the smaller one, even though I would hazard a guess that my measurements would have put me in the top one. So number 3 is another pattern that I have repeated several times now already, but the one that I am going to show you, I'm going to show you too, is a hack of the So Liberated Joanie shirt. So I think I talked about making the Joanie shirt. I can't remember whether I had already made it, or if I was planning to make it, or I had just made the first one. But basically this has become a tried and true pattern for me. I've done some alterations to it. I love the fit, I love the style, and I hacked it into a dress. I used the Made by Ray Trillium skirt, which is kind of my go-to nice A-line shaped skirt, with more volume in the front than the back. And I made it from this cotton sateen, what is the design? Tula Pink is the name, Tula Pink fabric that Rainbow Fabrics had. So Rainbow Fabrics had this massive drop of Tula Pink wide back fabrics, way cheaper than you can find them anywhere else, because they were all like slightly misprinted, but like very slight. And I picked up this big geometric hexy rainbow fabric and I loved it, and I couldn't resist it, but I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And it hung up in my wardrobe that I keep my fabrics in for ages, and I was like, not sure I'm going to wear this. I'm a little bit sad that I can't think of something to wear, like to make, that I would wear. And then I made a full-on dress, and I wear it probably at least once a week. I absolutely love it. I made it just so that it was a shirt, like it didn't, wow, it's been a while since I filmed YouTube videos. I made it so that the buttons only went to the waist, so it's like a half shirt dress and the skirt is just open. I actually just sewed the buttons shut because I could put it on over my head anyway. There's a gentle elastic in the back, but it's pretty free flowing. And yeah, I wear it all the time. It was like a walking, talking baby sensory activity for Ollie for a good chunk of time, with the black and white and geometric and colour. But I properly love it, and it's become, yeah, a firm fixture in my wardrobe. I then made a full button-up version of this shirt, of this dress, from beautiful, beautiful Liberty cotton lawn that I got from Sister Mintaka. I love this. It makes me feel really special, but for some reason I'm not grabbing it as much as the Rainbow Fabrics one. And I'm not 100% sure why, because whenever I wear it, I feel amazing in it. But it's the other one that I tend to go for. And I have a feeling it's just because it's button up all the way down, which feels marginally harder to wear. But I definitely need to make some more of these. I took a little bit of a break from the pattern because I kind of like rinsed it really quickly. I needed a bit of a break, but I'm definitely going to be making more of those. I've got a whole bunch of like really lovely cottons and viscoses that would just make beautiful versions of these. And I'm picturing one in a Liberty lawn that I have with a tier at the bottom as well, so it's like extra drama, because I'm feeling a bit drama at the minute in my wardrobe. So the Joanie shirt goes up to a 58.5 inch bust, and it comes with two versions, the camp collar version that I made and a shawl collar as well. The fourth one is a zero waist Gore skirt. So I have already talked about this pattern on my channel, that's what it's called. Before I made a full length version. It was one of the first things I made after I had Ollie. I'd cut out the pattern like when I was 12 weeks pregnant with James and never made it for some reason. And I made it and I wore that. I still wear that skirt a lot. And I had mentioned in the video that I filmed that I would like to try a shorter version because I think that would be more practical in my wardrobe. And I made this version from a fabric I picked up in Abakhan when I went up to Liverpool last October. And again, it was a little bit of a practice run, and when I made it I thought, oh, I really like the shape and I definitely want to make more, but I'm not sure this fabric's going to make it into my wardrobe like regularly. Like, I'm not sure I'll wear it. I wear it all the time. It comes out of the wash, it goes straight onto my body, it gets covered in porridge from the boys predominantly rather than from me. And then I put it back in the wash and wear it again straight away. I really love it. I definitely need to make more of these. And I think one of the things I'm really trying to be conscious of at the minute in my wardrobe is the maybe slightly less fun things to sew, like pattern repeats, that will absolutely be loved for years in my wardrobe. And that's kind of hard when you don't have so much time to sew, but actually the payoff is so much better, and I really want to try and encourage that into my kind of craft. And you'll see that from some of the fabric choices that I've made recently when I get around to filming a fabric video haul. So number 5 is a bit of a wow drama skirt again, so I clearly am feeling a bit drama at the minute. It's the Roberts Wood Infinity Ruffle skirt. Now this is a pattern that if you described it to me, I would say that's not my style at all. I don't really like ruffles, but I made a skirt that has like 54 of them. So this skirt was like 108 pattern pieces, and basically it's made that all of the pattern samples are made in like tulle and chiffon and taffeta, and they're like really party dresses, like ball gown type skirts, which is not really my style. But I saw a version from Jenna, the lady who lunches on Instagram, in a gingham. I'm also not a gingham girl, but I fell in love with it. The fact you could take something that was real drama and real over the top and turn it into something really like casual and day wear really captured me. And I messaged her and said, this doesn't take 5.5 meters of fabric, does it? And she was like, yeah, it kind of does. I managed to somehow pattern Tetris it out of 4 meters of blue and green tartan that I had. I'm also not really a tartan girl, to be honest, but I absolutely love this make. I made it over about a week and a half maybe, where I came in every nap time. Every time I managed to get Ollie down for a nap, I would come out and sew a few more ruffles or hem a few more ruffles and kind of piece it all together. Now this pattern doesn't have a size range because basically you make it in columns, I suppose, and you kind of keep adding to it. So you can make it just keep adding more rows. I made 9. Mine was 9 pattern repeat, and I've made it so that it has an elasticated waist. I have a feeling that the original pattern is not an elasticated waist and it has a zip somewhere, but I can't actually picture where the zip would be. But anyway, I made it slightly larger than my waist measurements and I added an elastic waist. I had to piece together random scraps out, like I think my waistband is made of like 5 or 6 pieces to make the waistband fit. I added pockets, which are not in the tartan fabric. Pockets are not in the pattern but are an essential in my life. I've actually worn this way more than I thought I would. When I made it, I was like, I love this is amazing, but it's going to be one of those things that I only wear occasionally. Again, I wear it quite a lot. I've worn it to work, which I thought I wouldn't because I thought it was a bit too much for work, even though my work is 1, very casual, and 2, very used to my wardrobe. But yeah, I love it. I don't think I'll make another one, even though it is quite tempting. It was quite an undertaking and I'd have to really love the fabric. Like I did ponder a polka dot version because I thought that would be pretty cool. But actually I've made 2 polka dot skirts now this year. And I've got another multicoloured kind of polka dotty skirt that I want to make. So I probably don't need another one. And it was quite a lot of effort. And I probably would rather have other things in my wardrobe at the minute. But I am very pleased that this is in my wardrobe. So they are my top 5 things. I did think I'd throw in a bonus because my bonus favourite make recently is actually a mashup of 2 of the patterns I've talked about. So the zero waist Gore skirt, I've actually realised it isn't. I convinced myself it was so that it was worthwhile putting in, but it isn't. Whoops. Oh well, we'll do it anyway. Bonus one. So the zero waist Gore skirt that I just love. I think I've entered my circle skirt era. I mashed up with the same pattern company, The Process of Sewing, zero waist cami dress. Now this is obviously a pattern for a dress, not a different dress. I'm struggling a bit. But it's meant to be very free flowing. But I really liked the idea of a zero waist cami top or cami bodice because I've never really found one that fits me very well, and I thought if I could try some out without using very much fabric then it would be quite good. And I've figured out what doesn't fit me well about cami tops, and it's this bit here. It's like the triangle bit before the straps needs to be way shorter. It's like and I've had this before where I have to take wedges out of other like tops and dresses and things, but I've never really thought about it for a cami. I've always thought, oh, I'll just make the straps shorter, but I actually need to take a wedge out of that pattern piece. And that's revolutionary. So I played around with that, and I managed to make myself a zero waste cami dress with a giant circle skirt that feels very drama from this gorgeous Bornella Fabrics cotton in, I think it's called Super Bloom, and I just feel phenomenal in it. I made it at a sewing social, so Sew Time Socials, run by Claire and Stacey Harper, down in Southampton, and I like proper put my head down and was just totally engrossed in this. I like clambered around the floor. I had 2.5 meters of this fabric, and the front bodice is fully lined. The back bodice is not. I just bound that with some of my bias binding, and it's just stunning. Like, I properly love it. It's a tiny bit tight at the back because I made a mistake with my measurements for the skirt pieces, but I've made another one since that fits me really well in a viscose, and this is definitely a pattern I will be repeating again. So that's my bonus, because it just makes me feel amazing and I couldn't leave it out of this little video. So that's 6 of my top favourite makes from the last June, July, August, September, 4.5 months that I've been missing from YouTube. And it's also just to say, hello, I'm back. I've got loads to film. Let me know in the comments what you want to see, what you want to hear about the business and my sewing and my fabrics. And I look forward to catching up with you again really soon and chatting to you down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye.